Welcome to Bible Quiz Tube, Bible Trivia fans. Test your knowledge with today's Old Testament Bible quiz. 25 questions, 5 seconds each, 1 point per correct answer. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss our daily Bible quizzes. Share your score in the comments. Let the quiz begin. Question 1. What filled the tabernacle when it was completed? A. A pillar of fire. B. A cloud. C. The glory of the Lord. D. A rainbow. You've got this. C. The glory of the Lord is correct. The explanation. Exodus chapter 40 verses 34 to 35 describes how a cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. This powerful manifestation was a visible sign of God's holy presence among His people, confirming His acceptance of their work and His dwelling with them. Question 2. What possession of Naboth did King Ahab covet? A. His vineyard. B. His servants. C. His livestock. D. His wife. Right on target. The answer is A. His vineyard. The explanation. In 1 Kings 21, King Ahab desired the vineyard belonging to his neighbor, Naboth, because it was conveniently located next to the palace. Naboth refused to sell his ancestral inheritance, which led Queen Jezebel to orchestrate his murder so Ahab could seize the land. Question 3. Which psalm describes the plagues of Egypt? Only true Bible fans will get this. A. Psalm chapter 19. B. Psalm chapter 121. C. Psalm chapter 22. D. Psalm chapter 105. D. Psalm chapter 105 is the accurate choice. The explanation. Psalms chapter 105 verses 27 to 36 serves as a historical retelling of God's mighty acts, including a detailed summary of the plagues sent upon Egypt. It's a song of remembrance, designed to teach future generations about God's power and faithfulness to His covenant people during their time of oppression. Question 4. Which of these kings of Judah reigned righteously? A. Ahab. B. Asa. C. Jeroboam. D. Manasseh. Brilliant. Option B, Asa, is spot on. The explanation. 1 Kings chapter 15 verse 11 states that Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as his father David had done. Jeroboam and Ahab were famously wicked, and Manasseh's reign was largely evil. Asa is remembered for purging idolatry and instituting reforms, demonstrating a heart committed to God. Question 5. How long did it take the Israelites to travel from Egypt to Mount Sinai? A. 4 months. B. 12 months. C. 3 months. D. 2 months. The correct choice is C. 3 months. The explanation. Exodus chapter 19 verse 1 states that on the first day of the 3rd month after the Israelites left Egypt, they came to the desert of Sinai. This time frame highlights the significance of the journey, giving them time to witness God's provision before receiving His law at the mountain. Question 6. Which of these items was not in the holy place of the tabernacle? Test your knowledge. A. The table of showbread. B. The lampstand. C. The altar of incense. D. The Ark of the Covenant. The expected answer is D. The Ark of the Covenant. The explanation. The Ark was uniquely located in the most holy place. Exodus chapter 26 verse 33 details the veil that separated it from the holy place, which held the other items. This inner room symbolized God's direct presence, a sacred space entered only once a year by the high priest, unlike the daily service in the holy place. Question 7. What is the ninth commandment? A. You shall not steal. B. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. C. You shall not murder. D. You shall not commit adultery. The correct answer is B. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. The explanation. The ninth commandment, found in Exodus chapter 20 verse 16, is, You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. This law protects justice and social trust by forbidding lying, slander, and perjury, especially in legal settings. It upholds the importance of truth in community life. Question 8. Whom did Queen Esther send to find out why Mordecai was wailing in sackcloth? This is a tough one. A. Hathach. B. Harbona. C. Haggai. D. Bigthan. Well done. The answer is A. Hathach. The explanation. In Esther chapter 4 verses 5 to 6, Queen Esther summoned Hathach, one of the king's eunuchs assigned to attend her, and sent him to Mordecai. Hathach served as the crucial messenger between Esther and Mordecai, relaying the news of Haman's plot and bringing back Mordecai's charge for Esther to intervene. Question 9. Which prophet declared, The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former? A. Ezra. B. Haggai. C. Zechariah. D. Nehemiah. Spot on. The correct option is B. Haggai. The explanation. This powerful prophecy is found in Haggai chapter 2 verse 9, spoken to the returned exiles rebuilding the Second Temple. Its future glory would not be gold or stone, but the very presence of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, who would one day enter its courts. You're doing great so far. If you're enjoying the quiz, hit the like button and subscribe for more Bible quiz content. Share your score in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let's dive back in. Question 10. Which of these women was Jacob's only daughter mentioned by name? Prove your knowledge. A. Tamar. B. Bilhah. C. Dinah. D. Zilpah. You got it correct. C. Dinah. The explanation. Genesis chapter 30 verse 21 mentions that after bearing Zebulun, Leah also bore a daughter and named her Dinah. Bilhah and Zilpah were her maids, and Tamar was Jacob's daughter-in-law. Dinah is the central figure in the tragic story of Genesis chapter 34, which led to a violent response from her brothers Simeon and Levi. Question 11. What was the main purpose of the sin offering in the book of Leviticus? A. To atone for unintentional sins. B. To express devotion. C. To give thanks to God. D. To atone for intentional sins. You're on track. A. To atone for unintentional sins is correct. The explanation. Leviticus chapter 4 specifies that the sin offering was for a person who sins unintentionally against any of the Lord's commands. It was a provision of grace, allowing a person to be cleansed and restored to fellowship with God after they became aware of a sin committed in ignorance or weakness. Question 12. Which psalm declares that God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills and needs no sacrifice from man? A. Psalm chapter 23. B. Psalm chapter 91. C. Psalm chapter 100. D. Psalm chapter 50. Nice work. D. Psalm chapter 50 is the right choice. The explanation. This powerful statement is found in Psalms chapter 50 verses 10 to 12, where God corrects Israel's understanding of worship. He reminds them that He owns everything, including the cattle on 1,000 hills, so their sacrifices are for their obedience, not to feed a needy God. Question 13. After the suffering of Job, how many sons and daughters did God restore to him? A. 7 sons and 3 daughters. B. 10 sons only. C. 10 sons and 10 daughters. D. 14 sons and 6 daughters. Outstanding. A. 7 sons and 3 daughters is right. The explanation. Job chapter 42 verse 13 states that after his trial, he also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. This is the same number of children he had lost. God restored his fortunes, giving him double the livestock he had before, but he gave him the same number of children, showing their irreplaceable value. Question 14. In Nehemiah's rebuilding effort, which gate did the high priest Eliashib and his fellow priests rebuild? Possible answers. A. The Valley Gate. B. The Sheep Gate. C. The Fish Gate. D. The Fountain Gate. Keep it up. The right answer is B. The Sheep Gate. The explanation. The great rebuilding project in Nehemiah chapter 3 begins with a significant act. Eliashib the high priest and his fellow priests went to work and rebuilt the sheep gate. Their leadership in rebuilding this particular gate, likely used for bringing sacrificial animals, set a powerful example for the rest of the people to join the work. Question 15. In Deuteronomy chapter 32, who does God guard as the apple of His eye? A. David. B. Moses. C. Jacob. D. Abraham. Incredible! The correct answer is C. Jacob. The explanation. This powerful description is in Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 10, where the he guarding is God, and the him being guarded is Jacob, representing the nation of Israel. The apple of the eye refers to the pupil, which one instinctively protects, beautifully illustrating God's tender, protective care for His people. You're doing great so far. If you're enjoying the quiz, hit the like button and subscribe for more Bible quiz content. Share your score in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let's dive back in. Question 16. But upon Mount Zion there shall be deliverance. Where is the verse found? Think carefully now. A. Zechariah. B. Joel. C. Obadiah. D. Isaiah. You're doing great. C. Obadiah is correct. The explanation. This powerful promise of restoration is a key verse in the short book of Obadiah, specifically in verse 17. In a prophecy largely about the judgment of Edom for its cruelty against Judah, this verse provides a beacon of hope, promising that God's people will be saved and possess their inheritance. Question 17. Daniel saw the vision of the 4 beasts in the reign of which Babylonian king? A. Darius. B. Belshazzar. C. Nebuchadnezzar. D. Cyrus. B. Belshazzar is the correct answer. The explanation. Daniel chapter 7 verse 1 explicitly dates the vision. In the first year of Belshazzar king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream, and visions passed through his mind as he was lying in bed. This is significant because it places the vision chronologically before the events of Daniel 5, the writing on the wall, showing Daniel received prophetic insight throughout his life. Question 18. Which two prophets specifically addressed Israel's poor and insincere worship practices? Test your Bible skills on this one. A. Hosea and Malachi. B. Jonah and Daniel. C. Isaiah and Ezekiel. D. Jeremiah and Nahum. Superb. The answer is A. Hosea and Malachi. The explanation. Hosea chapter 6 verse 6 states God desires mercy, not sacrifice, and Malachi chapter 1 harshly rebukes the priests for offering blind and lame animals. Both prophets powerfully condemn the disconnect between external religious rituals and the lack of genuine heartfelt devotion, a recurring theme in prophetic literature. Question 19. Which of these was not a requirement of the Nazirite vow? A. Not touching any dead body. B. Abstinence from grape products. C. Abstinence from leavened bread. D. Not cutting their hair. The valid answer is C. Abstinence from leavened bread. The explanation. Numbers 6 outlines the Nazirite vow, which included abstaining from grape products, not cutting one's hair, and avoiding contact with dead bodies. Abstinence from leavened bread was specifically associated with feasts like Passover, but it was not a standard requirement for this vow of special dedication to the Lord. Question 20. Who is described as the father of all who play the harp and organ? Select 1. A. Jabal. B. Tubal-Cain. C. Cain. D. Jubal. Excellent. The answer is D. Jubal. The explanation. In the genealogy of Cain's descendants in Genesis chapter 4 verse 21, Jubal is credited as the ancestor of musicians. Jabal was the father of tent dwellers, and Tubal-Cain was a forger of bronze and iron. This passage shows an early development of human culture and arts, with different family lines specializing in various crafts and skills. Question 21. Which of his sons did Jacob describe as being unstable as water? A. Judah. B. Simeon. C. Reuben. D. Levi. You've got this. C. Reuben is correct. The explanation. In his final blessing in Genesis chapter 49, Jacob addresses his firstborn son Reuben with these words, "Unstable as water, you shall not excel." This was a direct consequence of Reuben's earlier sin of sleeping with his father's concubine Bilhah, which caused him to lose the privileges of the firstborn. Question 22. On which day of creation were the sun, moon, and stars made? Dig deep into your Bible knowledge. A. Day 1. B. Day 4. C. Day 2. D. Day 3. Right on target. The answer is B. Day 4. The explanation. Genesis chapter 1 verses 14 to 19 details the events of the fourth day of creation, where God made the two great lights, the sun to rule the day and the moon to rule the night, as well as the stars. These celestial bodies were created to serve as signs to mark seasons, days, and years, and to give light upon the earth. Question 23. What name did the Ammonites give to the giants, who were also known as the Rephaim? A. Rephaim. B. Anakim. C. Emim. D. Zamzummim. D. Zamzummim is the accurate choice. The explanation. Deuteronomy chapter 2 verse 20 provides this obscure detail, stating the land of Ammon was also regarded as a land of giants, whom the Ammonites call Zamzummim. This passage highlights the various names given to ancient peoples, showing how the Israelites were aware of the history and folklore of the nations around them. You're doing great so far. If you're enjoying the quiz, hit the like button and subscribe for more Bible quiz content. Share your score in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let's dive back in. Question 24. What was Joshua's name before Moses changed it? A. Ashiah. B. Gershom. C. Caleb. D. Eliezer. Brilliant. Option A, Ashiah, is spot on. The explanation. Numbers chapter 13 verse 16, in the context of sending the spies into Canaan, notes, "And Moses called Ashiah the son of Nun, Joshua." The name Ashiah means salvation, while the new name Joshua, Yehoshua, means Yahweh is salvation. This change prophetically pointed to his future role in leading Israel to victory. Question 25. What curse did Joshua place upon the ruins of Jericho? A. That no one could ever live within its walls. B. That it would be perpetually barren. C. That it would never be rebuilt till at the end of the world. D. That its rebuilders would lose their firstborn and youngest sons. The correct choice is D. That its rebuilders would lose their firstborn and youngest sons. The explanation. After its destruction, Joshua chapter 6 verse 26 records the solemn oath, "Cursed before the Lord be the man who rises up and rebuilds this city, Jericho." The curse specified that the builder would lay its foundation at the cost of his firstborn, and set up its gates at the cost of his youngest son, a prophecy fulfilled in 1 Kings chapter 16 verse 34. What an amazing journey! How did you score on all 25 questions? Drop your score in the comments below. Thanks for joining us today on Bible Quiz Tube. Subscribe for new Bible quizzes. Stay blessed.